Good afternoon. My name is Mike Minari and welcome to the evening edition of Hawk News. Tonight we are going to be looking at an issue that affects a significant population of New Paltz students. Many students decide to live on campus. The close proximity to campus services and class makes it good real estate. However, students are beginning to wonder if they're getting their money's worth. To live in a standard dorm at New Paltz, it costs $1,145 a month. Additionally, the age range of the dorms spans from 3 to 68 years old. However, there seems to be no price adjustment relative to these conditions. We spoke to some concerned students on campus, and were fortunate enough to get an interview with the Director of Residence Life at New Paltz. But first, we go live to Ghislaine Garcia in the field. Ghislaine?
Ghislaine Garcia reporting live from the SUNY New Paltz campus. I am here today with Ron Bobaki in Kalango Hall. Hello, Ron.
Hello, Ghislaine.
Ron, have you lived on different buildings here on campus?
Yes, I lived in Shango my first year, Bevier my second year, and college my third.
Interesting. Would you say there's very wide disparities between these different buildings?
I would say there is in many different ways, but mostly in terms of style and infrastructure, as well as maintenance of the buildings. So I feel like they vary a lot in that way.
Are you aware that everyone pays the same price throughout all the campus for the buildings?
I am aware. I was made aware pretty recently, I would say, and I was just surprised to find out, considering the disparities between all the buildings on campus. So it's really interesting that everyone seems to be paying the same price.
How do you feel about that?
I do feel like the older buildings on campus that have built this really strong community over time are slowly being neglected and diminished only because residents feel the need to stray away from buildings that are really tearing down from the inside and out. And I feel like that's just bringing down the communities in all these corridor-style buildings specifically, and the older suite-style buildings as well. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed, I would say.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
To Tess now in Lefevre Hall.
Thanks so much. I'm Tess Ferguson, and we're here at Lefevre Hall with Kyle Osent, a senior music major here at SUNY New Paltz. Kyle, you've lived at a few residence halls here at SUNY New Paltz. Can you speak to the disparity in living conditions between the different dorms you've lived in?
Lenape Hall was nicer dorm I lived in when I first came here. I thought the bathrooms were nice because it was right in the suite, so you didn't have to share with the whole floor, which was a positive, I thought, there. In Capon, the bathrooms were very dirty. I thought the custodial workers didn't clean them very often, which I wish they cleaned them more. And there was no air conditioning, so it was very hot in the early fall and the early spring of the semester. In Lefevre Hall, it was also newly renovated, like Lenape was, versus Capon Hall, which is very old.
Okay, so given all these different living conditions at these various dorms, do you think that they should be priced differently based on the quality of life the student would have there?
In my opinion, I feel like that Capon Hall should not be as pricey, for tuition compared to Lefevre and Lenape, because Lefevre and Lenape are newly renovated dorms on campus compared to Capon, which is a lot older, and I think should be that way.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Kyle.
Thanks, Tess. Joining me now is Director of Residence Life, Karina Karachi. Thanks for being here, Karina.
Thanks, Mike, for having me.
Of course. I wanted to ask you a couple of things tonight. The first thing I want to ask is, what do students gain from living on campus in dorms?
Sure. I've been in this profession for about 27 years, and I've seen a lot of students living on campus over the course of that time. And I would say that it's a big sense of belongingness and community that students will feel living in a residence hall. We have an incredible staff that does programming for them. They're there for support. There's a safety and security aspect of living on campus. And so I think they gain mostly a sense of community and friendships. And probably they would never get the chance to meet some people that they would meet living in residence halls, because we have students coming from all over the world.
Okay. Sounds like that residence life allows a real sense of belonging.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Okay. So my second question is, does it pay off to live on campus?
Sure. I feel like there's more of an intrinsic value to living on campus. The things that they learn, the values, the friendships that they will make and hopefully last forever. Our New Paltz students really, I think, appreciate getting to meet people that they might not get to meet if they lived off campus. And so I think there's a real value to that.
Great. Well, that's good to hear. Thank you so much for being with us, Karina.
My pleasure. Have a good day.
That's all we have for Hawk News. I'm Mike Minari. Have a great night.